Hey Josh, Jerry Gaskill.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the
Good.
time to do this interview. I'm very excited to be able to help promote King's X coming back to Minneapolis on Thursday.
Oh, thank you, man. It's been a long time.
Oh yeah, the last time I got to see you guys was actually my first time I got to see you at Station 4 back in 2009. And then I believe you guys came back with Kansas in 2012, but it's going to be great seeing you coming back for a full headlining show.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun.
Absolutely. So how did these short run of shows come along?
What do you mean? How did they...
Well, I noticed that you're hitting Minnesota a couple times for the weekend.
Well, the way I understand is we have an agent who, I guess, puts feelers out there, see who's interested in King's X coming around, and when there's a nice offer, or an offer that makes sense, you know, we go for it, and we jump to that town. That makes sense? That answer your question?
Oh yeah, sure.
That's basically it. I just have offers given to us, and we decide if it makes sense, and then we do it or we don't do it.
Oh yeah, that definitely does make sense, and I'm just happy that it is happening. Being such a longtime fan of the band, it's going to be amazing to be able to see you guys again.
Oh, thanks. I mean, if we would like to play everywhere, you know, but that just doesn't always make sense. And I'm at a point in my life where things have to make sense, or it doesn't make sense.
I mean...
That makes sense, right?
oh, of course, yeah. I mean, with everything that's going on with all of you guys in the band, and particularly you, of course, I mean, you got to make sure that you make the right decisions and play the right shows.
Yeah, and I'm doing great now. I'm doing really, really, really well.
I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I know about the struggles over the last few years, but it's just a great thing to be able to see you playing behind the drums again.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, very much so.
I think I can do it. We'll see.
So when it comes to King's X, somewhat doing a small run of shows lately for touring, how do you guys come up with the set list?
Well, basically, at this stage of the game, I think we're just doing songs that Doug can sing and songs that we can play. You know, that's basically it. You know, because we're getting a little bit older, I guess you would say. And it's a really hard thing because we have so many records, so many songs. And I know people want to hear certain things, but we can only do so much. So we try to pick songs from all the different eras and hopefully make everybody happy. But can't always make everybody happy. So hopefully, in time, you know, we'll work up some new songs and throw them in there. But I think we have a pretty good set. I think it'll be cool. The set that hasn't been played in that area ever. So I think it might be exciting for people.
Yeah. The first time I saw you guys, I made sure not to look up the set list because I wanted to be surprised by what you were playing. But I looked up the set list of what you guys have been doing lately, and even though Ogre Tones is my favorite King's X album, I'm very happy with the set list that you guys are doing right now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think it's a good one too. And it might be time to switch it up soon, but I think it's a good one. I think it represents who we are pretty well. It's a fun set. I think it'll be fine.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and Ogre Tones was the very first King's X album that I discovered, and from back then, from there, it was like right when it came out, like a couple months after it came out, I discovered it, and then I went and bought the back catalog after that, and just became an instant fan. And I just love the progression that you guys have done over the years, and being able to see that you guys are still out there, and with as many albums as you're doing, being able to showcase as much as you are within a headlining set. I mean, you guys are really doing it right.
Oh, thanks, man. I feel pretty good about things. Yeah.
Oh, so. And as you should, too. So, what are you currently using for a setup?
For me personally?
Yeah.
I just to a different company called Dixon. I don't know if you've heard of it or not.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. My good friend Greg Bissonette gave me a call and said, I've been thinking of all the people in the world, who would I want to help represent this company? And he said, I thought of you. So he called me, and I said, well, you know, I have a great relationship with GMS. I love those guys. They make great stuff. I said, but I'm always open. You know, I'll check it out. And so they could try out, and I just absolutely fell in love with them. And the whole band fell in love with them. Everybody was turning around and saying, what is going on here? These drums sound great. They look great. They feel great. And they really want to help promote me as well. And so that's what I'm using these days. I'm just using the 5-piece kit like I've always used.
Oh, that's very cool. And having played some Dixon drums in my own drumming career, I really enjoyed the sound that came out of them. And it's a great thing to be able to see someone such as yourself being able to represent them as well.
Yeah, I get compliments all the time. Here when I'm playing around town, people, just regular people, I mean, ladies, whoever, just go and say, man, those drums are beautiful. I love those drums. And I've never had anything like that happen before. And so I'm really happy to be with Dixon. It's a really hard decision for me to make. Like I said, I love GMS so much. I love the people, Rob and Tony and all those guys. I just felt it was something I had to do, and I think I made the right decision.
Did you change anything at all with the setup as far as like the type of wood or the sizes or anything?
No, everything's pretty much the same. I'm using maple, and sizes are exactly the same I've used for years. 22-inch kick, and I think it's 12, 14, 16-inch toms.
Yeah, it's a beautiful setup that you had. I remember back in 2009, just the gorgeous way of the sound was coming with your tuning and being able to, with the entire setup that you had, cymbals and drum-wise, and I can imagine with Dixon that it's probably even has an even better sound, and I can't wait to check that out on Thursday.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I'm hearing. I mean, of course, I could never hear it out front. I never know what it sounds like out front. But the crew, the band, even the audience, friends are telling me that there's something about these drums that are really special. So, and I felt it too. I mean, I was so excited when I got them in L.A. that after sound check, all I wanted to do was just look at them. You know, when I went out to eat, all I could think about was those drums. I'm going to get to play them again soon.
From the sounds of it, I think I'm going to be very jealous when I walk into the Fine Line and see that setup on stage.
Oh, I don't know. Just be thankful. Just be happy.
Oh, yes. What about for your snare? Are you using a Dixon as well?
Yep, I'm using all Dixon. Yep.
Oh, very cool.
It started off, they sent me a Greg Bissonette signature series just to try out, and another Artisan. That's the drums I'm using are called Artisan. And yeah, like I say, everything that they've sent me, I just love, and I'm very excited about it. They're making me a couple kits, you know, right now. They're making one for tour, making one for me to have at home. And not too long ago, I did a gig with Max Weinberg from Bruce Springsteen's band, the drummer.
Oh yes.
I'm sure. Yeah, and I didn't have any Dixon drums, and so like 2 days before that show, they sent me a kit, and I didn't even know what they're going to send. I said, well, just if you want to represent the company, I mean, this might be a good place to represent them. You know, with Max Weinberg, he's going to play them and all that. And so they just sent me out a kit. I had no idea what they're going to send. And it's absolutely beautiful. And people comment on them every time they see them. And they sound good, they feel good, they look good. It's just incredible.
And that says a lot about the company as well, being able to send you out a kit that quickly as well.
Yeah, I mean, everything about them I've loved so far. I love the people there. I love the way they do their business. And they really seem to want to take care of me. And I love that. And I'll do whatever I can for them as well.
Oh, that makes me very happy to hear that kind of relationship still going on with endorsement deals. I mean, the company being really behind whoever is using the product and vice versa.
Yeah, totally, man. It's just, and that's exactly what I wanted and needed, and felt if there's anything missing at all with GMS was that kind of support to get my name out there and with the drums as well, both together. So
yeah. And again, just like with a fine company like Dixon and having such great names attached to that, I mean, it's amazing to also add your name to that list as well.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty excited about it. I know the very first time they came out to see us, again, they brought me a kit to Atlanta. They drove me a kit. They drove it there for me, so I'd have a kit in Atlanta. First time they'd ever seen us, and as soon as we walked on stage, before we even started playing, the whole crowd started chanting my name. I was like, oh my God, I can't lose. So that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that is very cool that they literally drove you a kit there, and then everyone just being so excited for you and being able to try those drums out right on stage. So cool.
Incredible, yeah. I'm honored and thankful.
Oh, very much so. So, what about as far as cymbals? Are you still using the same setup?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm using, Peisty. I love the Signature series. I love those. And I've got a 20-inch dry ride Signature series. I love that too. Kind of thick, but I love that the decay isn't real washy, so I can sort of use it as a crash as well. And I love the sound of the bell. It's real kind of tight sounding, and I love that. And I think I'm using Sound Edge hi-hat, and so I've been using Peisty since probably 1990, 91.
Yeah, and they sound incredible too. And even with the thicker cymbals that come from Peisty, when you really open up those cymbals, they have a beautiful tone for that thickness.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, some of the cymbals are a little bit. It just depends on what you like. And for me, the most important thing is the way a cymbal or a drum or anything feels when I hit it. And that's what I loved about the Peisty stuff. Is that as soon as I hit it, it's like, oh my God, this feels great. I love the way it feels. And on top top of that, they sound good as well.
Yeah,
So,
that's something a lot of drummers seem to forget after a while is sound is very important, but also the feeling when you hit it with a stick is very important as well.
to me, that's the most important thing, because if it feels good and you know how to play, you understand something about drumming, even if it's just innate or subconscious. You just have this natural understanding, then you're going to make anything sound okay if it feels good. And if it doesn't feel good, you can make it sound okay. So if it feels good, then I think it's a win-win situation. It's going to sound great because you're going to hit it good, it's going to sound good, it's going to feel good.
Oh, very much so.
Well, what do I know?
Yeah, you've only been doing it this long. Oh. So, outside of King's X, is there anything else that you're working on drumming-wise?
Well, I do things around town. I play locally, mainly with a guy named Bob Berger, singer-songwriter, great singer-songwriter, plays guitar. I have a new solo record out. I don't know if you're aware of that. Came out last year.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up after this.
Okay, well, he played on one tune. He played bass on one tune. Mm-hmm. And I play in a band with him, a guy named Jimmy Leahy, who plays guitar with Dennis DeYoung now. He's played with John Waite, great guitar player. And bass player named John Rogers, who was played with Louis Staccato for many years, another great player. And the funny thing is, when I moved here to New Jersey, I was living in Houston for almost 20 years. Then I met my wife. We were doing a show here in New Jersey, and I saw her, and the moment I laid my eyes on her, I was in love with her. And that's a whole other story. But anyway, so eventually I moved here, and I had no idea what this area was like. I just moved here to be with her, and I live in Monmouth County. And once I got here, I found out that it's just a treasure house of great musicians. And things have happened in my career and in my life that I never could have imagined had I not moved here. It's just incredible.
Yeah, and that's fantastic to hear as well. I mean, sometimes it does take being in a new environment to open your mind, not just musically, but just in life in general.
Oh, yeah. Everything about me being here. It was a really hard decision for me to make, too, because, in essence, I left my family. And my kids are all grown. They had the kids of their own. But, my youngest son was only 12 at the time, so he came with me. But it was a hard thing for me to do, but I really believed it was the right thing to do. And as time has gone on, I realized it was the right thing to do, because I'm at probably the best place I've ever been in my life. And had I not done that, I'd probably be dead right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's incredible how that does work out. I mean, sometimes when you just stick to where you've been all your life, sometimes that becomes all that you know. Even if you do go cross country or around the world, you always go back home to where you grew up. But being able to move to a new location like that and experience new things in life and just opening your eyes to so many different things that you didn't necessarily know in Texas, being on the East Coast now, just all of those great things and being around good people. And it sounds like you're definitely doing that.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm surrounded with great people, great musicians, great opportunities, and I wouldn't change a thing. I'm very, very, very thankful to be where I'm at right now.
Oh,
I got a wife, got a couple of dogs, got a house, cars. I got everything I need, and I don't know. I'm doing great.
and being a fan, that just makes me so happy to see that you are staying this happy and everything in life is just going the right way for you.
Yeah, I guess I just take each day as it comes. That's all I can do. That's all any of us can do. And right now, each day just brings me to that place I want to be. Nothing's ever perfect. Life is life, and humans are the worst creatures who've ever lived or ever have been, and I'm one of them. So, that's just the way it goes. So we have to make the best of it. We have to find peace in ourselves. That's all we can do. And I'm pretty close, if not there, with that.
Yeah, and some people never get aspired to be able to get to that point in life, and I'm glad to see that you actually did make it at least that far.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot that's happened that's kind of got me this way, and I think dying was a big part of it. That really helped. I wouldn't change that for anything.
Yeah, I mean, with those circumstances, I mean, if you're able to pull through, it can definitely be a life-changing thing for you, and it does sound like, even with the events that did happen, it does sound like in the end it became a very positive experience.
Oh, absolutely. The most positive. Like I say, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
I could have never guessed that something like that would bring me to where I'm at. But you just don't know those things. Every day, every moment has the potential and possibility of bringing anything with. So all we have to do is stick around. Just got to stick around, because every moment can bring that thing that you're looking for or whatever. So you just got to stick around. No matter how hard things are, just stick stick around.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to die someday anyway. Don't do it yourself. Just stick around.
Oh, that's such a wonderful aspect and a great way to look at life.
So there you go.
Yeah. So getting back into it, alluded to it a little bit ago, but your solo album that just came out last year, your second one, which is a fantastic album. I'm glad to see that you actually had the time to be able to make a new solo album.
Yeah, well, it took a long time. We've been working on it for many, many years, actually. And there's so many different things happened along the way that kind of put a halt to it. But, yeah, we finally did it, and we're very happy with it. I'm very happy with that.
What would you say is the biggest change that's happened with your solo music between the two albums?
Well, I think the biggest change from the first record to this record is the first one is basically just all me. My songs, as I wrote them, just the way they came out of me. And then I did the record with Ty. Of course, he played on it and embellished and made the songs come alive. But they're exactly as I wrote them. But on this new record, I'm working with my friend Dan KROCKS, D.A. KROCKS, I call him Dan. And we just basically wrote everything together. I mean, I would bring my ideas to him, and they might stay exactly as I wrote them, or he would throw some other ideas in there, or completely change a part to something else, whatever. And that, to me, is the main difference, that he is in there with me. His vision as well as my vision on the songs. And plus we had a bunch of guest players, which added such wonderful new elements to the music that I never would have guessed. Although I felt inside myself with each player that I needed them on the record. And I handpicked each one specifically for specific songs. And it all worked out, man. Everybody just did beyond what I ever expected.
Yeah, I'm just so glad to hear that too, because I do love both albums, but I could definitely tell with the newest album that there's this freshness that's going on with being in a new group variety, and again, just like all the guest musicians that you got involved with it, all doing their amazing things on the album. It just sounded like such a great cohesive experience.
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel. I feel like I'm a fan myself. It's crazy, because usually, I have to, I cringe every time I hear anything I do. Like, oh, I can do better. Oh, no, not that. Oh. It's just the way I am. But for some reason, this record, I don't cringe that much. I mean, it can be better. There's things I could improve, and hopefully, as time goes on, that will happen. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with this record.
Oh, that's fantastic here. Is there anything in the works within the next couple years or so with anything that you'd be recording?
Well, I'm sure there is, yeah. I definitely will make more music of my own, and King's X even talks about making another record. So we are in the, what would you say? I guess we're discussing that. How's that? We've been discussing making a new record for a while, and most likely it will happen one day. I just don't know when.
Oh, sure. And you don't want to rush it either. I mean, you want to make sure it's going to be an album that you can be proud of.
Right, it's only been like, 8-9 years, so.
Well, of course, a lot has happened in that near decade as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
We've all got other things we've been doing, and King's X. I love King's X, but we'll see. It'll happen. Yeah. One day there'll be another King's X record.
Oh, yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Oh, yes. And when you have new solo music on the horizon and that new King's X album, when that does come to fruition, I will definitely be looking forward to both of those.
Oh, cool. Yeah. It will be exciting. When we do finally make a new record, it will be very exciting.
Oh, very
Otherwise, I'm not going to make it. It's not, the way I feel about it, if we make another King's X record, it's going to have to feel to me like the best record we've ever made. It has to be something we put ourselves into, we all believe in, and it can't just be, we'll put out another King's X record. It has to be that King's X record that, we know that we have to make. Otherwise, I don't even want to do it. I have to make my own music.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, you don't want to just have to put out an album just to say that you have a new album as an excuse to tour. You want to be happy about what you're going to record and the songs that you're writing.
And I always have. I mean, I've always done that with all King's X records. But something about now, it has to be done perfectly. All the aspects of it have to be put in place and work smoothly, I think. Well, maybe not smoothly, but they have to work.
Yeah, and it's all got to make sense. And, coming back full circle to be able to play at the Fine Line Music Cafe in Minneapolis on Thursday, it's about picking the right shows to do, picking the right songs, the right riffs, and making everything the right way. Yep, we just have to believe in it and feel it ourselves. But I think that's where I'm at. Oh, absolutely. Well, once again, thank you for taking the time to do this interview. It is a tremendous honor to be able to have this great in-depth discussion with one of my favorite drummers of one of my favorite bands of all time. And I cannot wait to see you coming up on Thursday at the Fine Line Music Cafe in Minneapolis. Before we're done here, is there anything else you'd like to mention that I haven't brought up yet?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Just keep buying my record and do that.